All right, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Starting today's video a little bit different here in downtown Pensacola, Florida. We're at Blue Wahoo Stadium, and tomorrow morning we're going to be making an early trip out to the Navarre kayak reefs, focusing on some bottom fishing. Right now, as we go into fall, water temperatures start cooling down. We have a huge variety of different species that we can target. So what are we doing here at Blue Wahoo Stadium? With the water temperatures starting to cool down and a lot of these fish getting fired up, I really want to focus on fishing some live baits, at least to get us started out, and that's what we're doing here tonight. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to start this video a little bit different than I normally do, and I'm going to take you guys down here on this beautiful Pensacola downtown waterfront, and I'm going to show you a quick, easy, and effective way that you can fill up a bait bucket with one of the best live baits there is for a huge variety of different types of fishing, that being pinfish. So if you guys are just here to see big offshore fish, please don't click away from the video right now. Just skip ahead a little bit. I promise we're gonna get there. This is only gonna take a few minutes, but I want to show you guys this because this is, in my opinion, the best way to catch pinfish, at least like the quickest way to catch them. Obviously you can do things like pinfish traps, and there's a variety of different ways you can get them, cast net, all kind of different stuff. My favorite way to do it is just simple rod and reel. So real quick, just to give you guys the basics of what you're gonna need for this, you don't need anything serious. I mean, we're just catching pinfish. I like to use a light action rod, that way I can feel the bite, especially if there's a little bit of wind and chop on the surface. I mean, these are small fish, so it's nice to have a light action rod, whatever size reel, doesn't really matter. I've got 10-pound braid on this. I like doing a 4 or a 6-pound mono leader like you would use for like bluegill or something, real light leader line. And then all we're gonna do for this rig is I've got one little split shot right there, and then about a foot below that I've got this tiny little Owner brand mosquito hook that's a size number 10. Tiny little hook right there because pinfish have tiny little mouths. If you're using a big hook, you're gonna have trouble hooking them. Other than that, you're gonna need a bait bucket. I like using a 5-gallon bucket like this. If you can get an insulated one or an insulated cooler like an Angle or something like that, that's gonna be ideal, especially in the summer. You want to keep those water temperatures as cool as possible. If it's the middle of winter time, they're gonna last a lot longer time without an insulated bucket. But simple 5-gallon bucket with a bait keeper lid on top, so you can open that up, put your bait in, and then you're going to need one of these aerators too. This is just a simple bubbler. You can get these at any bait shop. They come with a little hose, and all these do is they just blow air down into the water, create some bubbles, and keep it oxygenated. Without this, your bait is not going to last very long at all. With this, you can keep it alive pretty much as long as you need, as long as your water's clean and it stays cold enough for them. Now, in terms of bait bucket, you can also use something like this. This is just a little simple frayable trolling bucket, and this is actually what I use as my live well per se when I'm out there on the kayak, but really any kind of bait bucket will do. Really the only thing is if you are running it on an aerator in a bucket like this, you want at least a larger size bucket. Something small like this, if it's not actually in the water, like being trolled and aerated behind a kayak, a lot of times the fish being stressed out can pollute that water really bad. Even with like shrimp and stuff, that'll happen, and it'll actually cause them to die faster. So not packing too much bait into a small bucket is going to help the process. Now for bait, super simple for this. I mean, they're pinfish, they will eat anything, they don't care, but we're going to just use some frozen shrimp. So let's get down here to the water and let's get this bucket filled up with some bait for tomorrow morning. Do not drink that. I have fresh water for you, goober. Right, bubbler is active. So what I like to do, just to see if there's any around, and actually, yeah, there's one eating that chunk right there. I'll just start kind of chumming them over to me by throwing a little bit of shrimp in here. Miss Fox likes to think that she's going to jump in and get it. We're not going to let that happen, though. We did tons of pinfish right here. Perfect. All right. Hey, leave it. All right, so all we're gonna do is just take some tiny little pieces of shrimp. You don't need a lot. All right, so all we're gonna do here is just put a tiny little piece of shrimp on that little size number 10 mosquito hook. All right, and all we're gonna do is just take that tiny little piece of bait, dangle it right down there, and those pinfish are gonna come right at it. Boom, there we go. First one right there, guys. Oh my gosh, why did I think bringing you is a good plan? Great idea, James. Noted, don't do that again, but there it is, guys. Beautiful little live pinfish that makes it perfect bait. So wait for one to eat, and boom, pinfish on. That's all there is to that. Actually, this one here is not a pinfish, so that's what's known as a pigfish, very similar to pinfish, but they don't have those spikes on them. And it is literally that easy. That is a beautiful, perfect size little bait right there. Boom, another one. Another one. This is a perfect spot to come and do this because there's just so many of these little suckers. All right, guys, beautiful bucket of baits there. I think that's gonna do it for tonight. You guys get the idea. It's really just that easy, and those are gonna be phenomenal baits out there on the reefs tomorrow. So we're gonna get home. I gotta get all my stuff loaded up. Let's call it tonight, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow morning. Let's go get some good fish, guys. All right, guys, good morning. A little bit windier than expected today. It's a north wind, but we're gusting to like between 10 and 12 right now. So a little bit choppy out here. Beautiful morning otherwise, guys. We're out here in the dark, getting an early start here. And I think it's finally fall time. I think we can say that it is officially fall season. So I've got a good feeling about this. We're gonna get out over the Super Reef, start us off dropping one of them live baits that we got yesterday, and let's see if we can get hooked up. I'm hoping the wind noise isn't too extreme on the microphone here. I do apologize if you guys hear a lot of wind because it is quite windy out here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get one of these beautiful live baits rigged up on my heavy bottom rig here. You can also tail hook these, and that will usually cause them to swim down. But in this case, since we're dropping them vertically, we're just gonna nose hook them like that, and that usually keeps your bait from spinning too bad on the way down. Super Reef coming into view there. Looks like we do have quite a few fish hanging out up over the structure. So I threw that rod back there in the rod holder. I've got another rod that I'm setting up right now, and we're gonna fish some dead bait on that while that pinfish swims around down there. So I'm gonna take a menhaden head. And really the only difference with this rig here is I've got a 40-pound leader instead of an 80-pound, so a little bit lighter. See if we can produce a bite that way. Here we go. It's a decent bite. Come on. There's one. Aw, damn it. Just lost a good fish. Let me get a menhaden head on here. There he is. Good fish here. Really good fish. Come on. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good snapper for sure. Got him out here in no man's land. I drifted off the reef. Nice red snapper there. Heck yeah, I threw that hook as soon as he got in the boat. He was not hooked too good either. Gotcha. All right, guys, beautiful American red snapper there to get us started out for the night. That was the target species. We can keep 2 of these right now in Florida Gulf State waters. That is a nice one. I'm gonna go ahead and get this fish bled here. Just take my pliers and come in behind the pectoral fins. Kind of just punch in there, facing up towards the head, and that's going to cause that fish to bleed out. Get nice clean meat. Yeah, beautiful snapper there, guys. And it's funny too, we got him on the dead piece of menhaden over the live bait. I got one little peck on that live bait so far, put a new one on and have not gotten hit. And as soon as we started dropping down dead baits, started getting smashed. So as funny as that sounds, that might just be their preference tonight. Let's put them in the box. Snapper number 1 going in on ice. All right, back up over the structure here. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this live bait back down. But since we're getting more bites, honestly, on the dead bait, I think I'm gonna continue fishing dead bait on that other rod while this one swims around down there. It's gonna be funny if we went through all that work to get bait yesterday so I could show you guys how to catch pinfish, target snapper, and we don't even catch snapper on the pinfish. They want the dead bait instead. That's how my luck usually goes. And I've got the tail section from that menhaden we just caught that fish on, so I'm gonna go ahead and hook it. These are kind of soft, so I'll usually run through it twice. And then something that I like to do is clip that tail so that bait doesn't spin on the way down. So let's do a little test here. We're gonna pitch that dead bait out and let's see which one gets hit first, dead bait or live bait. Ooh. Live bait. Did he get my bait? Yeah, he's got it. He's got it. There he is. Good fish here. Let's get that drag on him. All right, spoke too soon on the live bait. Went to do the test between the two, and live bait got hammered. It feels like a nice snapper. Oh, damn. Feels like a decent snapper, actually. I'd like to get this dead bait up before something eats it. You know what? Let's just open the bail on that one. All right. Focus on what we're doing here, James. Get the damn fish up first. Is that a snapper? I can't tell. That might not be a snapper. Oh, a little jack. Okay. That one might be an almaco. I can't tell. Let's get him in the boat. I think he's got my other line tangled up in him anyway. There we go. Okay. Unexpected catch there. Now, let's see which one you are. I think that's going to be an amberjack. He's got a pretty slim body. Almacos are usually going to have a much deeper body. There we go, guys. Beautiful amberjack right there. He is going to have to go back. I don't actually know if the season on these is still open. I didn't even look at it, but they have to be, I think, 34 inches to keep. So he's nowhere near that anyway. Amberjacks are going to be a little bit more slender like this one, and also an almaco is going to have a much taller tip on that dorsal fin back there. But that is a cool catch out here early in the morning, guys. Sweet. And that was on that live pinfish. Let's go ahead and get that hook out of you, buddy, and we are going to send you on your way. And typically with these, if you just torpedo them, that's usually the best way to release them. See ya. Pretty hardy fish. They can handle being out for a while, and they don't usually have descending issues. There we go. Got everything tied back up. This would be a great time to go over that rig with you guys. So for my heavier bottom rig, I've got an 80-pound fluorocarbon leader. Got a size 7/0 Mustad Ultra Point inline circle hook. And then that's a 6-ounce egg sinker just sliding on an 80-pound leader. I've got about 5 feet of that. And by putting that heavy leader underneath your egg sinker, that's going to keep it from getting all tangled up. It's nice and stiff, whereas if you're running that egg sinker on braid or something like that, you're going to have a lot higher chance of tangling up. Now, seeing that amberjack came on a live pinfish, let's go ahead and drop another one down there. So just pop that right through his nose just like that. Get him on in the water quick as you can. All right, I got that live bait down. Let's throw that dead bait back down as well. Oh, damn. Live bait just got hit already. Well, damn. As soon as I went to drop that dead bait down, the live bait got smashed. Kind of feels like he probably took it. Oh, no, we still have it. Look at that. Whoa. Gnarly, dude. I just made it out to the new reef here, so I'm going to put a nice, fresh, lively bait on. Well, I got my 2 snapper. Nice. Oh, damn. As soon as I put the dang thing in the rod holder, something picked him up. There we go. Fish on. There we go. Something decent here. This feels like it might be a red grouper, though. Come on. Set the dang thing in the rod holder, and immediately it started going down. Just sitting there with it. What is this going to be on the live bait? Just winch his ass up here. Oh, here. Okay. It's a nice grouper on the live bait. We'll take that. Let's go. It's a beautiful red grouper here. He's going to be questionable on size. They are in season right now. They keep screwing around with the season on these, but I think they finally settled on it. So they are currently open. Here we go. Got that hook back. Let's get a measure on this fish. Yeah, he is just barely squeaking over 20, but he is over 20, so he is going to go in the box. Check that out too. The guy's got a gnarly scar. Someone hooked him underneath there. Oh, that's wild, dude. Check this out.
So this guy's got a line coming out of his gill from someone else, and that hook is buried down here right inside the gill plate right there. So he was hooked at one point. There was probably more line wrapped around him, and that's probably what caused that scar on him. Well, we are going to put him out of his misery today. He's going in the box and coming home with us for dinner tonight. These guys are absolutely delicious. And it's kind of hard to get a legal one sometimes. They're usually like to come in right about 19.5 inches. Kind of similar to the triggerfish situation where they're always 14.5, not 15. Yeah, nice red grouper there, guys. Give you a little look on the third person cam. Cool. All right, well, things are going well so far. Not if you're a pinfish, but going well for me. Beautiful sunrise coming up behind the horizon over there. We don't have too long till that sun's gonna start breaking underneath the clouds. Bite has slowed down considerably, not really getting any hits. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna come to some of these outlying structures out away from those super reefs. So let's see if anything is hanging around on them. Give me something good. Give me something good. Oh, yeah, something decent's trying to eat it here. Felt him for just a sec. He had a little bit of weight to him. There he is. Let's go. Let's go. This feels like it's going to be a snapper too. Not going to be all that big, but he is going to be a keeper for sure. I think, maybe. I think he's gonna just pull 16, maybe 17 if we're lucky. With how much it's slowed down, I think that's gonna be our limit. All right, got it done, boys. Beautiful sunrise snapper. Absolutely gorgeous first light coming up over there. It's hard to beat a Navarre beach sunrise. Sitting in a kayak out here offshore. Real quick measurement, I'm almost positive he's going to be a keeper. I just want to verify because he was on the smaller side. Yeah, pinch tail, he's right around 16.5. So he's definitely a little guy compared to that first one we got. But that bite has slowed down, so he is going to be our limit, I think. Alrighty guys, just made it back up here to the beach, and it has slicked out into a beautiful glass flat day here on the Emerald Coast. Look how gorgeous this water is. Just one of the many things that makes this area so incredible. I was thinking that the bite was going to be a little bit more on fire with this cold front moving through and the various conditions that we had. I was thinking it was going to have those fish fired up. Unfortunately, that just wasn't the case, and we had to work for it a little bit more than I was hoping for. We spent a lot of time jumping in between reefs and, you know, just trying to get bites and not getting anything. So I'll be cutting a lot of footage out of this for you guys, so you don't have to sit there and be bored not watching me catch anything. But that's the beauty of video editing, right? I guess what I really want to make a note of in this video is what we talked about at the beginning with the pinfish. They're an awesome bait for a large variety of different types of fishing. Obviously, we can use them offshore like we did today. You can use them inshore for redfish on the flats. You can drop them on bridges and catch redfish and trout and all kind of different things. But particularly for offshore, I really like pinfish. They're good for free lining, they're good for trolling, they're good for dropping on the reef. So you can use them for pretty much anything. Now, obviously, the cigar minnows that you can get out here are going to be a little bit better bait. A lot of people really like using those. I myself have had great luck on cigar minnows and menhaden and stuff. The problem with the cigar minnows, though, is a lot of days you come out here, they're really difficult to find. They're just not in the area. And also, if you come out here before sunrise like we do a lot, you're not going to have a good chance of getting cigars. They typically don't bite until the sun comes up. So going out the previous day, loading up a bucket with pinfish the way that I showed you guys, incredibly easy and a great way to fill up your bucket with live bait for coming out here and doing what we did today. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, please make sure you do so. That way you don't miss out on future content. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hit the like button, leave me a comment, and we will see you on the next one.